So, I know it's been a long time, and I want to welcome all of you back to a little bit of everything. We're going to start today with a nice, light summer dish. We call it bruschetta. My kids call it Italian salsa. So, let's get started. I've got here 6 beautiful washed Roma tomatoes. We're going to go ahead and dice those up. Cut them in half. And then you go ahead and you pull that little core out. Nobody wants chewy bruschetta. Me least of all. Okay? Put those aside. Nice fine dice on your tomatoes, okay? You want little bitty pieces that are easy to eat with all the other ingredients so you get it all in one bite. And by little pieces, I mean something that's going to piece down about like that. Okay? So I'll get right back to you when I'm done dicing up my tomatoes. Okay, now we're just finishing up slicing our last little bit of tomato. We're going to go ahead and finish that up. Put that in our bowl. Okay. Now we're going to switch knives and move on to the basil. Gotta get your basil nice and fresh. Smell it, taste it, make sure it's the best you can get, okay? What I've got here is 1 fresh bunch of basil. All I'm gonna do is squish it together real quick and run my knife through it, okay? Careful for your fingers, and those last little bit of stems, those can just hit the garbage can. So we're gonna put those in there. Now we're going to keep running our knife through this until we get a nice, beautiful, fine chop, okay? Your kitchen is going to smell so good. Okay. Basil's looking pretty good here. So, that's going to go ahead and get tossed in with all of your diced up tomatoes, okay? You don't need more than 1 bunch for 6 tomatoes because basil can be a beautiful but very strong flavor. Make sure to get all that yummy juiciness off your cutting board. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, we've got the veggie part of this. We're going to move on to the rest of the sauce. We're going to go ahead and add about a tablespoon of minced garlic. For me, that's about 2 forkfuls. Okay, a little bit of that. Now, if you're a measurer, measure. If you're not, just pour. For you guys, I'm going to go ahead and measure it so you know a rough idea of what you need. We're going to use a 1/4 cup of good olive oil. Okay, that's going to get poured over our tomatoes and our basil. Now we're also going to add about the same 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. Please don't cheap out on this. Cheap balsamic is just bitter and you won't get the right flavor. So get a decent one. There's our 1/4 cup. We're going to pour that in as well. Now, the next thing you're going to do, and this is the last step before we get ready for our bread, is to salt and pepper your mixture, okay? So, we're going to use about a teaspoon of sea salt, okay? For me, that's a palmful. That goes in there. Now, we're also going to go ahead and use a little bit less than a teaspoon of pepper. I'm talking about a 1/2 teaspoon, maybe a 1/4. That goes in as well. Okay, we're going to dust our hands off. And we're going to take our fork and we're going to mix this up. Mix it up until it's beautifully incorporated and full, okay? Get all of your basil off the side of your bowl because it will stick. Okay. That looks and smells so damn yummy. Sneak a bite before my husband catches me. Yep, Perfect. So this is going to go in your fridge while we get the bread ready. Our bruschetta sauce is in the fridge. Now we're going to go ahead and make a very simple garlic infused olive oil to brush over our baguette after we cut it before we toast it. We're going to go ahead and start with half a cup of olive oil. You can always buy an infused olive oil. I just don't see the point in spending the extra money. They're so easy to make at home. You can infuse them with so much. Garlic is classic and a favorite. I'm going to put that in a bowl. Now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of garlic, okay? So that's just going to go into your olive oil. Okay, now that's going to get put aside and let to rest, and we're going to cut up this baguette. We've got a beautiful, nice French loaf baguette. So you get a little bit of extra bruschetta. I like to cut mine diagonally for your toast points. We're going to go ahead and cut it about 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick on your pieces, okay? Use a serrated blade so you don't squish the bread like I am. It's going to squish a little, but, you know, nobody wants it totally squished. We've got some of our baguette nice and sliced up. We're going to go ahead and put this on a pan. Just one layer, lay them out nice and neat. We've got the bread cut up. Our olive oil has been infused with the garlic. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to preset our oven at 350 degrees. On bake, and we're going to let it come up to temp while we brush our bread with this olive oil. We got it panned out nice. Don't be afraid, don't be scared, just nice couple little dabs per piece of bread. And that's going to make this nice and crunchy. You have to make sure that you toast your bread before you put the bruschetta on it, or else it will turn into a yummy, delicious, soggy mess. Okay, our bread's been brushed with our garlic infused olive oil. It's going to go in the oven at 350 degrees for 15 minutes. So we're going to get that handled and we'll be back to you when we pull it out. Okay, welcome back. We're getting ready to pull our little toast points out of the oven. They are a gorgeous golden brown, just a little bit on the crunchy side, just where we want it. Now, the next couple steps on this are really, really easy. What we're going to do is we're going to take our tomato basil salsa and we're going to spoon that onto our little toast points, okay? Don't forget the broth. That's where a lot of the flavor is, like always. All it takes is about a tablespoon per toast. Get through this nice and quickly. These are so good, so light. They are the perfect accompaniment even for like barbecue or grilled chicken or sausages. Or we've even been known to take the bruschetta and throw it on top of pasta for a nice summer salad. Don't worry about making a mess. Everybody will pick the tomatoes up off the pan, I promise. Now we've got our tomato basil mixture on there. The final touch, the finishing point here, is nice, fresh, grated Parmesan. Go ahead and just sprinkle away. It's going to add a nice little salty, creamy texture and flavor to this. There we go. Now you are ready to serve, and I am ready to taste this. Oh, so delicious. Well, I hope you tune in for my next video. Like, subscribe, and have a wonderful day.